We'll table that whole back room there. That's
All
right.
right, I'll call the meeting at 6:30. We'll stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Petitions for the public. Actually, is there acceptance to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay, we'll move on to petitions from the public.
We're here at your disposal.
Okay, we'll move on to the theater release. There's no petitions.
We have nothing back yet from the lawyers that we got to.
No, we do not have to release at this time.
And we don't have anything back from our lawyers at least. We mean,
We're gonna go ahead with the 45 letter.
Was there?
It's up to you.
What else to do?
So, it's up to you. At this time, there is not insurance on the theater.
That's correct.
It is a breach of lease, and it's up to the council to decide where you want to go with that at this point.
What did the attorney say? Did he say to send a letter or?
We can do a 45-day letter, and they'll give 45 days to correct the situation.
Okay. Was that his recommendation or?
that was my understanding.
That was my understanding.
Pretty much that's the recommendation. I understand that.
No, that's, yeah, this is why, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's a.
Okay, this is why it was, it became apparent that they weren't gonna renew, put it back in effect. I came in and told them,
Sure.
I want, and I used those words, we are in breach of the lease. And we are here at your pleasure. Can you get a quick rundown on where we are with it? Sure.
That'd be appreciated.
I had a very interesting talk with the previous agent in Marquette, who clearly had done a whole lot of sales training and customer support. She allowed us how, no, sorry, it's done, we're not even going to talk to the underwriter, which was Automotives in Michigan or something like that. So I took it over to Levesque, and he found us a company that specializes in underwriting theater activities, productions, organizations. And the policy that he put together is significantly in excess of what the lease itself requires.
Sure.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
This should have been, what we're getting now should have been in the lease as a requirement. Just I do lots of leases and agreements like that. So the coverage is going to be a $2 million general liability coverage, a $1 million balloon coverage to get those things that fall between the gaps, and a $250,000 liquor liability for serving wine and beer only. Their only real questions were things like, why do you think you're not going to have 60,000 people next year? He said, okay, let's start right now with, let's work with experience of the last 2 years and go forward. I said, I'd be happy to tell you that we were undershooting in real time. But to have an agent that, he said he could walk down the street. If somebody sends him pictures that say, we've got flooding and it's catastrophic, and they don't want to underwrite it, he's going to walk over and look and say, wait, there's a puddle over here in the corner. There's tarps that were put up there 10 years ago before the 2 new roofs were put on. But he's right across the street. And he's familiar with the operation and so forth. So I asked
So he
him-
doesn't have any issues
No, and
why the previous one was canceled?
No, he knows exactly the shenanigans that went on with that whole thing. He said part of the delay was him telling me, look, work with the agent in Marquette to see if you can convince them that this is just ridiculous, come over and look. her feeling was, I'm not gonna drive 3 hours round trip. I already know the shape of the building. Well, no, clearly you don't. I mentioned to Levesque and on this application that the Park Service is looking into the elements of the building that would be an issue. They're all comfortable with it. I've asked to be December 1st to be the start date for it, regardless of when the paperwork goes in, so there's a shorter gap, but the reason that I stopped operations for the theater for the month of December is I'm a realist. Around Christmas time, I'd be lucky to get my mom to call me back some years. So, but they had no major issues. They did provide us a quote. Now they're working on the details underlying it. So, sounds good. It does. I was pretty happy that we found a company that specializes in theaters, us being a theater.
Yeah.
That seemed pretty important. So,
Yeah, I worked with Levesque before, and with other organizations also, and special events, things like that, so.
yeah.
I know they have an understanding.
And the customer service piece is, okay, well, what do you plan to do?
Yeah.
He talked to me for about 2 hours just to find out what we're up to, what we're planning on doing, how we operate. It's not gonna be hugely different, but he took the time.
Okay.
So that's the state of the policy. My suggestion to you guys is that you list that notice anyway.
Yes.
We're not at all gonna be hurt by it because I specifically told Amber at that moment,
Yeah, that's what we were looking for, somebody to be straight up with us.
just do that. Send us the letter, start the clock.
Yeah.
And that was my same suggestion, was, I mean, I wear 2 hats here, because I do love the theater, worked in the theater very much, so, but I had to wear the other hat too. And so, yes, we have that.
We're
From
not,
our due diligence side over here, we have.
and I recommend it as well, even though I'm sitting on the wrong side of the table saying it. Start the clock. And that's the thing that we would hope going forward is you're comfortable starting clocks if you're not happy with what's going on the other side of that wall, because that wall is supposed to be philosophical, not.
No, I think we part of it, nobody on this side was paying attention to what was going on up at Woolbed, and that's, that's something that should get fixed, I think.
That's why what I was interested in when we started talking, 10 weeks, 1 day, 12 hours and 15 minutes ago. Not that I've been counting today. But if we act more as a partnership, then you could have us present to you every month. What are we doing? What's our plans? Attend our board meetings so that we know completely what you guys are trying to do, what you want us to do, and if we're actually doing it.
Well, it's not only that, I mean, yes, we want to know that flow also, as to what you're doing, but it's also, I think, important for us to know what issues you may be encountering over there. We are the landlord, right? So we need to know what issues you encounter over there that we as landlords have to look at fixing.
It goes both ways, but I mean, it's tough when we can always be like, oh, it's on us, but it's also, we had a board that was not reporting things to us either, so it's like.
No, and that's, I don't want to get ambushed in.
Yeah, that was like.
Well, that was why I made the suggestion that you guys pick somebody to be on our board as your representative.
Yeah.
That's pretty common with even companies that get acquired by their companies.
Yeah, and
So
I understand it used to be like that, I don't know why they went away from it, but
We should get that.
yeah, I'd like to see that in the lease.
Well, that is something, actually, we've had our conversation, via video or phone conference, and that was something that was brought up in there.
It makes sense.
That we expect to see in that revamped lease thing that we will then hash out, between what we get and what, detail and have it.
I think we talked about that as being any sort of new lease, would be like
Yes.
representation.
Right.
from the council.
Yep. And that can happen before the lease.
Okay.
Because what we've done, we've started meeting twice a month, rather than, it was up to 6 months or longer before they met. We make them working sessions, it's open to members, it's open to the public, and we need to find out what people want us to do, and then we have to go do it.
And even maybe somebody from the players be on the board too, that can.
I would think that would be perfect.
We have some representation.
Yeah, we were saying
Already ours. Yeah.
But you can't have a hat that's only cut halfway down. It's gotta be all the curls. So those are the things that we would like to do, just because it would be nice if you guys were smiling when we walked in.
Yeah.
No, I should.
And you could tell us stuff that you wanted to get done.
Sure.
I want to give a shout out to Jake, who helped find other venues for people that were put out by us shutting down for December.
Yeah, my wife's coworker had a wedding reception plan, so.
Right, well, Tom Tikkanen is apparently involved in that too. He gave me a quick call. But they moved down the street. We were able to do the Santa Claus piece. We were able to do the decorating piece on Saturday. We'll get there. We'll get some of this nonsense out from behind us and become partners.
Sounds good.
So, with all that being said, I mean, I'd make a motion that we generate a 45-day letter for a breach of contract to the lack of insurance.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None.
What do you think?
Okay, we're gonna initiate the 45-day letter for breach of contract. Is there anything else for the theater list?
Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Okay, we'll move right into our statutory meeting. Is there an acceptance of this agenda?
I'll make a motion, we accept this agenda.
Yes. The first one. I'll second it. The first one's over. Yeah. And now we're on to our statutory. Yeah. Is there anything? Put our dates in there.
Okay. All right.
It's all pretty much going to be the same as last year.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Acceptance of the agenda.
I made a motion, Tim seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Petitions from the public? Okay, we'll move on to our rules of procedure.
Sorry, Elise wasn't able to join us today. I did talk to her about the rules of procedure. It's recommended that we hold on it. There is a couple changes that she would like to enact. So probably one more stay and then we'll
Let's finish it up at the work session then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we'll table that. Move on to committee appointments.
Did you hear that, Ken? Yes.
Previously listed committees were streets, public safety, finance, ordinance, public buildings, sanitation, and personnel. We want to just keep that all in the work session?
I think
Or do you want to break back out?
we talked about the last work session about just as needed breaking out into the committees, right? I thought that worked okay when you had to do personnel for the.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should almost get a finance committee going because the budget's coming up. You know, there's deadlines with it. You know, because it's just easier working in a group of like 2 with it versus 5. You know, like at least hammer out the basics and you know.
But if this is just our statutory, could we make motions and make, for doing things like that, like
Forming committees, I think we could and appoint people to
I mean,
committees.
I know it's not
the
like.
committee appointments were part of the statutory meeting.
Yep.
So I would assume we
I'd support that, Rob.
do that.
Finance, so I serve on it too, it's because I was working with Dave a little bit on that and Roxanne, I cutting my teeth on it, so I think we could do better. I'm happy to try to help. Okay.
So Andrew, did anybody else
I just put myself forward, I'm not, if people are up for it.
Yeah, I'd like to be on it.
It'd be good to have on. I don't want to meet more than like once a month at the beginning of it, but we gotta meet soon we gotta meet soon for.
A little bit, well, it's gonna be a little bit more probably until we get through the budget, and then after the budget's passed, then it's, we won't have to meet as much, but it might be a couple times, starting in late January or so
I
to
think-
get through.
But then should the president be on it? Should you be on it, Brian? Just as
I could, but I don't have that much time.
You don't have a lot of time. Okay. So maybe like ones that are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all important. But
Yeah, they're all important.
or what if we have like a question for you of something that needs to be signed? I don't know. You'd probably be able to help us figure out which ones of those are key.
So me, Rob, and you.
Does it have to be 3?
No, I can do 2.
We do 2.
You just can't do 4 because then you get a quorum.
Okay. I just said it doesn't really need a motion, does it? To make that committee, just like we're just assigning, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so
And then
Anything else?
in this meeting, do we want to set a first date for that too, so we can get it in our calendar? Sure. Before Christmas.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I'm not available anytime before Christmas.
Well, maybe Rob and I can just like come up with like an outline of what we need to.
Yep. You guys can just go and sit down and discuss. Okay, so Tuesdays, we're just gonna, can we add, under committee appointments, we just put work session in there also? That we're just gonna keep work sessions going.
Yeah.
About next week, 14th.
Yeah, that's our work session, so maybe,
Not that one.
yeah, the meetings week after, so
Monday's no big deal.
I could do 13th, because I'm off the 13th. The 20th I'll be working, I could do a little later after the end of the day.
I usually work in the day, maybe 20.
Yeah.
Ask you
20th.
20th, because then we might have a chance to ask you to get maybe a couple things together.
Yeah.
All right.
What time?
Have to be after 4 for me, so.
Yeah, so 5.
Yeah, 5, that's fine, yeah.
Finance. meeting.
Okay, we'll move on to President Pro Tem.
Who is President Pro Tem?
Ron right now.
Make a motion to keep Ross as president pro tem.
Second that one?
Roll call. Ken?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Rob's probably a no.
I don't get to say it.
All right, Rob will stay as President Pro Tem.
Sorry, I did that very quickly, Ron.
That's okay. No, it's fine.
Chance for you to object.
No, it's all right. I don't mind.
Okay, delegates to other boards, North Fulton County Water and Sewer.
The previous person was like a LeBrock or LeBronc or.
Was Jean Marshall was for long.
Jean Marshall.
right. That's right.
I know his wife's in the Wausau Hospital now, so I'm not sure.
So
Yeah.
do you want to reappoint somebody else?
Let's hold off on it and see what he says.
Table it this time.
Yeah.
All right, the Fulton County Rec Authority, that used to be Caleb, right?
Yeah, that was.
That was Caleb.
Okay. You wanna do it?
You wanna do it?
Sure. And we'll gather information, figure out what it is, but yes, yeah.
Amber, I might be able to just like talk with you sometimes about that, just because all the work I'm doing with the Calumet Recreation Coalition, and there's like some game plans to kind of help both counties, so.
Okay. Do you want?
Unless you were saying something.
No. No, I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with Fulton County Rec.
You're right.
Either, I such thing.
It's just kind of like a
Yeah,
call for a lot of the different
Outdoor
stakeholders.
activities,
people.
yeah, you know.
And Cork has a coalition that's like the ATV club, the snowmobile club, and they have the easement that goes all the way, like they're trying to secure that state easement that goes all
There's
the
a
way.
lot of time for grants and stuff like that, you have to have an organization to be able to apply for them and stuff like that.
It's also kind of trails and plans, like kind of unify the rec plans.
Yeah, to come up with something, so it's all. So it's not all piecemeal, put something together.
Do you want Amber to be on it, or do you want to be on it?
I think if you're on it, just because I also don't want, because I'm technically like subcontracted to do consultancy work for the Calumet Outdoor Recreation Coalition, and I'd rather just bring you information about stuff that's happening recreation wide.
Yeah.
I don't think they meet a ton, as well. I don't know how much they're meeting.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out and figure out the schedule.
But I can just keep you informed of overall what's kind of happening between what people are working on, the coalition's working on between the counties and mostly in Calumet. But we're right there on the doorstep if you want to. So.
Okay, I'd like to appoint Amber to the Houghton County Rec Authority. Rob?
Also, you need a second or? Yes.
Just one.
Okay.
Ken?
Yes.
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, salary and fees. Previously approved rates for fiscal year 2022. You gonna change any of them?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the same rates.
Do a second. Rob?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
I'm yes. Okay, firefighters.
We could reduce our salaries.
Gonna cut it all.
No, I just give it to the charities in there.
I'll make a motion to approve the same fees for the firefighters.
Second.
I'll do it.
You can do it.
Rob?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Tim?
Yep.
I'm yes. Designation of depositories. Previously arranged bank and credible bank.
I'll make a motion to designate the same two as depositories.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, designation of officers. Chief Administrative Officer.
That's usually the president, right?
Yep. Same with Fiscal Officer, I do believe.
Okay. And street would be Mark.
Street would be Mark.
Engineers, EP.
Yep.
Building inspectors, Houghton County.
Houghton County for that. Zoning Administrator.
Amber, right?
Yep. Attorney would be
Tershaw.
Kershaw.
CPA is,
At Cambridge.
okay. And then building permits, same thing, Houghton County.
Enforcement Compliance.
We'll make Amber enforcement and compliance too.
Amber.
Okay. Who's the CPA? They're downstate.
It's Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we designate the officers we named.
Second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Who's the zoning administrator? I didn't hear.
Amber.
Amber?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
That's
Meeting
something that
dates.
kind of we discussed, even at the planning commission, we kind of went over the whole string of how it ties together.
For the meeting dates, December, it's a promise already, so,
Yeah.
The 21st, would be our normal scheduled meeting if we're going on the third Tuesday of every month. If you want to modify it, so.
I'm okay with these. We can just adjust them as needed if something comes up.
Is this updated new for February? Is that the new public hearing, or is that always been in there for the 25th of February?
It's usually the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta wait to get your extra snow money before you can
Yeah.
finagle your budget around, so.
So we've had a chance to look over all the meeting dates.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve all our meeting dates?
I'll make that motion. Oops.
That's okay. I second that. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None?
Great office.
You wanna sign that so I can notarize it then? Yeah.